Hi everybody in Authentic Connections and also in the ebook area. I might post this there too. I wanted to bring up an idea called OPA, stands for Objections, Prejudices, and Assumptions. Katerina just brought this up to me in her breakthrough with someone that she was afraid to share the Mary Kay business with, and then she did, and it turned out to be a great conversation. So one of my favorite books, as a bunch of you know, one of my favorite books in the last year has been Never Split the Difference by the hostage negotiator whose name I'm forgetting right now. And he was an top FBI hostage negotiator, and I take that book very personally because I think that we hold joy hostage and we hold freedom hostage, because joy and freedom just allows us to act on what we know or what we feel without hesitation. And when we have hesitation, we're actually blocking the flow of life from just moving through and just, riding with it, like kind of surfing. So one of my challenges that I'd like to offer up to everybody at Joy-Based Living, maybe I'll put this on Facebook as well. One of the challenges I'd like to offer up is, his name is Chris Voss. Something that he talks about is tactical empathy. So when you think about empathy, maybe you can think of like a psychologist or something like that offering empathy to clients. Take that to another level. What if you had to deal with somebody who's taken a bunch of people hostage and you didn't have days or months or years, that you had 20 minutes or, maybe 24 hours or something like that. So I don't know if he coined this term, but he brought up a term called tactical empathy, which is bringing empathy alive, conscious, and quick, and using it practical purposes and making it work for you and for the other person. And the way that one of the signs that you know that the tactical empathy is working is when the person says the words to you, "That's right." Not when they say "you're right." When they say "you're right," they're usually saying, bug off. Yeah, you're right, I know. Even if they really do want to make a change, even if they do want your help, they might just say "you're right" because their own objections, prejudices, and assumptions are going to be in the way. Yeah, I know, I really want to do that thing, but, I can't because blah, 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 blah. So they're holding their dream hostage there. So one of my goals in the last year has been how many that's rights can I elicit from people around me. And I'm not just talking about like sales calls or something like that, but I'm negotiating with people all the time on behalf of their own joy, of their own dreams, of their own well-being. And I know I've gone into a lot of different metaphors lately, and actually I'm enjoying it. It might be it's confusing for some people, but I don't really care. One of the metaphors is, the treasure map that I've posted at Joy-Based Living at Facebook. I feel like I'm a treasure hunter. I'm constantly searching for treasure inside of people. What makes their eyes light up? What makes their heart sing? What is it that makes their joy naturally emerge? And I can stand for that all I want, but if they don't stand for it, then it's not going anywhere because it's their life. So I've challenged some of my closest friends and clients to elicit "that's rights" from me and from each other, because when we hit a point of "that's right," yeah, that's right, it's a sign that the person we're now standing on the same side with them. We're not on the opposite side going, "I need you to do blah, blah, blah." We're like, actually, they're feeling understood, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's so obvious." And when it feels obvious to them, the job is done. And tactical empathy, it's not about manipulating people. It's about helping them see what's possible for them. So like one of Chris's stories, and I'll end with this, that I really liked, he was working with his son who was having a hard time playing in his football team he had been in a role in football, and I don't know enough football terminology, so I'm going to tell the story my way. He had been in a role where, in order to succeed in football, beating people up was the way to go. And that was his role. Well, then the coach of the football team moved him to a different position, like in his last year of high school or something, after he'd already been trained in the previous role. Well, in that new role, he had to be more in an intelligent, using his mind more rather than his body more, and he had to not be in the position of beating people up, but he couldn't stop. And no matter what the coach said, no matter what Chris said to his son, the kid wouldn't stop. He kept saying, you're right, I know you're right, I got to stop doing that, but he couldn't stop. And then one day his dad said to him, I wonder if you think that if you're not out there beating people up, that you're going to be perceived as weak. And the kid said, that's right. And then his behavior shifted. And so I want you to take these stories personally, these ideas personally, because I think that we all on some level hold our own joy and freedom and well-being hostage. And our culture kind of teaches us to do that. Like, stuff your energy, stuff what you think you know. If it's not logical or proper or what everybody else is thinking or doing, it's not cool. But I think many of us who are here are also interested in expansion and meditation and that kind of thing. And so trusting ourselves at a deeper level is really important. And handling those OPA objections can be really fun. So when you see objections, prejudices, and assumptions coming up around things that are really important to you, question them. Question yourself. Take a closer look. And my challenge for 2019 is how many that's rights can you elicit from other people in your life, and how many can they elicit from you? Give each other gold stars each time you do, because you'll feel so much more heard and connected and understood, and so will they, and you'll be able to reach more of your potential and expand more of your freedom and capacity than ever before. I wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll see you soon.